Get wrecked, governors. Holy jeez. I didn't think they were going to do it, but they did it. They are about to implement probably the most radical change we have ever seen in Rise of Kingdoms. Ever seen in Rise of Kingdoms. We're talking about a cooldown for your account. We're talking about limiting how much your account can play and how much your account can fight in KVK. And just be careful, because there's a Pandora's box to this. While the thought sounds really, really reasonable and good to reduce the stress and production of all these players that are stressing themselves out playing this game, this doesn't actually fix piloting. We'll talk about all of this and what it means for leadership, more stress on leadership, what it means for players. And it sounds like a really good way to kill the game, if you ask me. So stick around while we go through all of this with a new radical change from Lilith and from the game developers for Rise of Kingdoms. Hey everybody, I'm your boy War Daddy Chatsky. I put out videos all the time. Love this game, love doing content for it. And if you enjoy this content, please throw a thumbs up, give it a like, and help out the channel. We're growing the channel like crazy. And if you have not subscribed, consider doing so. It doesn't cost you anything. Hit that subscribe button, help us out. And if you want alerts when I put out this type of content or any content, you can hit that bell as well. And so I've been doing content for like a year now. I have played this game for 5 years, over 5 years, at an extremely high clip and high level. I play this game at, I'll just be real honest with you, I play this game at my spin level more than any other account owner at our spin level. Probably more than any other account owner at our spin level. I'm in one of those rare breeds that spends a ton in this game and plays this game in KVK fighting 20, 22, sometimes 24 hours. Like, you don't think guys like me do that? Like, it is crazy to see. And so this is the mail that they just put out. And I'm going to go through it. And we're going to go through the pros, and then we're going to go through the cons, okay? Because I'm going to bring up some things y'all didn't think about. All right, so let's look at this. This is the new idea. They've talked about this for a while now. They literally had a conversation in Dubai in one of the meetups. They've had conversations in Amsterdam about throttling down or cooling down the amount your account can play in Rise of Kingdoms. And it was universally agreed that that would be the worst thing to do in the game. Like, I've talked to people that were at those events. I've talked to people that were there. They've literally said, like, everybody agreed that that would be the worst thing to do. This is Call of Dragons 2.0. This is COD 2.0. I was one of the first players to play Call of Dragons. I was one of the first players in Call of Dragons to reach T5. I got talked into playing the game. It was nice. It was fun. It was aesthetic. There was range in it. It was kind of cool. Then we go into fighting in COD. And after about 4 hours of fighting, the game literally said, "Get wrecked, Governor. You can't send your commanders out. They're exhausted." And I'm like, what the hell am I looking at? And they're like, yeah, you can't fight more than a handful of hours with the commanders that you're using. And I'm like, to hell with this game. I quit. Immediately quit. And the one thing I will say about Rise of Kingdoms, before we get into this, the one thing I'll say about Rise of Kingdoms, if I had one word to define Rise of Kingdoms, it would be unlimited. Unlimited. That's what I love about this game. I love it. You can play as much as you want. You can barb chain as much as you want. You can play all the events that you want. You can run as many farms as you want. You can spend as much as you want. And you can fight as much as you want. That's why I love this game. That's why I freaking love this game. And now, no longer unlimited. Let's go through this and read this, and I'll give you the problems this is going to bring. In order to help governors balance their KVK playtime, or their rock playtime, we plan to introduce the new rest mode feature. Depending on matchmaking results, the feature will be pioneer tested in certain Lost Kingdom stories that open registration on October 27th. For Lost Kingdoms participating in the test, the game will track how long your character has been in War Frenzy over the last 24 hours. Oh my gosh, now we're being monitored. I feel violated. They're monitoring how much I'm playing in 24 hours. Once your total War Frenzy reaches the threshold, your character will enter rest mode. Okay, rest mode? You're gonna tell me how much rest I need. You're literally going to tell me I am not allowed to play this game because me as a person playing the account needs more rest. You know how many times I've run my game time playing in an open zone up to 20, 22, 24 hours I've spent straight up, and I love it. That's why I play the game. That's why I set up my schedule to where I don't have to be at work running my companies. I'll literally play the game that way. Nope. We know what's best for you, Chadsky. You need to go to bed. Okay. The detailed rules are as follows. If character's total war frenzy reaches 16 hours, your character will enter rest mode for 8 hours. For 8 hours. Like, they're literally putting you in rest mode for 8 hours. Like, so you've got to monitor your war frenzy, how often you're playing. Like, hold on, guys, I can't launch this rally. I'm at 15 hours and 45 minutes, and if I have to pin this rally, I'm going to be over 16 hours, and my rally's going to stop mid-rally. I don't know what this even means. While in rest mode, you won't be able to activate War Frenzy. In other words, you won't be able to attack, scout, or initiate rallies against other governors, troops, or buildings. In addition, you will not be able to use the attack march command and your troops. Oh, rip siege. Man, you thought you were going to hit a loophole siege? Oh, I'll just put all my siege marches out here and I'll just attack everything while I don't have War Frenzy. Nope. Get wrecked. You will, however, be able to attack barbarians. Oh, okay, thanks. You're going to let us go farm and attack barbarians. And we can join rallies. Okay, that's going to be interesting. This is why it's going to be a headache for leadership. Let me just tell you. After exiting rest mode, your character's War Frenzy timer will reset. Yay, I get another 16 hours. If you do not activate War Frenzy for 8 straight hours, your total War Frenzy time for the last 24 hours will be completely cleared. Okay, I got to get a new bill of health. I got to get a new bill of health from the Lilith doctor that tells me I need to take a break. Unbelievable. Okay. So that's how they're going to do this thing. Like, listen, this was universally criticized in the meetups. Like, do not do this. This does not fix piloting, guys. I'm telling you, it does not fix piloting. It does not fix piloting. Piloting is still going to be crazy in this game. It doesn't matter. It's baked in. The only way to fix piloting, if you really want to fix it, is to hit an IP address with whatever, or hit maybe 2 devices that have to be in the same IP address. I don't know how to do it, but just force players not to do it and ban players who do it. That's how you fix piloting. If you really want to fix it, that's how you do it. This particular situation, there are many factors that come into this. Number 1, if I can only fight 16 hours a day, okay, then I need less speed ups, okay? I got a ton of speed ups. I couldn't spin this speed up. If we had this throttle down, cool down situation of COD 2.0, I can't spin these speed ups in 16 hours. I don't even dictate the fights. What if the enemy doesn't want to fight us? Like, hey, I'm ready to play, guys. I've got my 16 hours of frenzy. Well, there's just skirmishes going on. Well, I'm not wasting my frenzy on skirmishes. I don't want to do that. I got to save my frenzy. Like, how many players are going to be using that excuse? Like, sorry, guys, can't fight. I got to save my frenzy. Oh, by the way, I got to go. I got to take off. Wait a minute. You used to be a player that never fought anyways. Yeah, but now, hey, I can't waste my frenzy. I mean, I can't even use this, which means what? And I'm just telling you, as from a high-level spender standpoint, I'm not going to spin in this game near as much. I don't need to. Why would I run up the speed ups when I can't even use them? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, less money, which is fine, I guess. Why would I even need these troops? I don't even need these guys anymore. Like, it sounds like a great way to go out of business. That's what it sounds like. Like, so if you're basically gonna set up an environment in the game to where you have limited fighting and you have cooldown, right? You're literally telling people who play this game, you're not allowed to fight more than 16 hours in a 24-hour period. Okay, well, I don't need all these troops. So less speed ups, less troops. Okay, sounds like a good way to go out of business. Sounds like a good way to have a lot of whales and krakens. A bunch of them are gonna quit. They're not gonna mess with it. People like me, I'm just gonna spend a hell of a lot less. Less gold chests for everybody. And so from that standpoint, if you think you're fixing the pilot situation with a 16-hour cooldown situation or War Frenzy situation, you're kidding yourself. That's not going to fix the pilot situation. You know what this makes me want to do? And this will start to be the trend for people, is that whales like me, I have 2 accounts. I have my main here in 606. I have my second account, which is 115 million power, 28 billion kill points. Like, I got that over in 2359. I love it over there. I can't wait to go fight this big KVK. But this is gonna literally give us a situation to where whales bring 2 accounts to a kingdom. Because now I want to think about doing that, because you're not going to limit me on how much I can play. So I'm going to play my main account for 16 hours. And then if I want to play my other account, hell yeah, you're not going to tell me I can't fight. I'm going to play my other account, which overall I'm going to spend a hell of a lot less. And overall, the game experience starts to suck for players like me. You're basically saying the game is too competitive. We're going to make it more casual. Like, I've been playing this game at a competitive level for years now, and I love it at a competitive level. I love 5 straight days of fighting where your eyes are bleeding at the end of it. That's why I play this game. And now all of a sudden, if you're going to tell me I can't do that without a second account, GG, like, you're out of your mind. If you can't use the speed ups and resources and the troops that you spend money on, then you're not going to spend money. It's that simple. And I know some players might be sitting there thinking, well, hey, this helps leadership. This does not help leadership. Like, you want to talk about leadership? You want to talk about leadership in the game where these people are working their nuts off on trying to make a great kingdom, trying to build migration, trying to do events, trying to do off-season, trying to do KVK planning, Diplo, KVK territory, events in KVK, war leading, all the things that make that. Now you got to go put 5 people in charge of cooldowns and kingdom scheduling for fighting. What rallies do we have online? Is there a rally out there that's not in Frenzy? Are you kidding me? Oh, it'll be easier on leadership. The hell it will. Now they got to do scheduling too. Now they got to figure out when their kingdom is going to go, push, when they're going to go tell players not to fight. Like leadership's literally going to have to go tell players, hey, don't use up your frenzy. We're going to push at this time. Like, what? Like, you're going to put that burden on leadership? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That is so dumb. That doesn't make any sense. Oh my gosh. Get wrecked, leadership. Get wrecked, players. We are going to completely take control. You are not allowed to play this game. Just be careful. I'm not saying it's like the worst idea ever, but if the end game here is to fix the piloting situation, because that is the problem. That is what people have an issue with, is piloting. If you think this is fixing piloting, it's not fixing freaking piloting, okay? It's just not. All right, Kraken's and big players, they're going to bring second accounts in. They're going to have an account up and running for 24 hours. They're going to hire pilots. Listen, it's not just pilots on big accounts that's the problem. It's pilots on farms. I have seen kingdoms literally pay a pilot service to come run farms and reinforcements while their other pilots run their war leading and run their fighting it with the main accounts. Like, you're not going to fix piloting by throttling this down. Sorry, it's just not going to work. That's not how you approach that. This is not fixing piloting. In fact, all this does is it makes somebody like me, who plays the game well over 16 hours during fighting, like, it just pisses me off. Like, this is definitely not unlimited. That one word I used to describe Rise of Kingdoms, oh, wrong one. Unlimited. Not unlimited anymore. Get wrecked, Governor. Let me just send you guys a warning. The reason why I quit COD is because you told me I couldn't fight. Now you're going to tell me I can't fight in Rogue. Like, just be careful. Okay, it doesn't help leadership. It puts more stress on leadership. Spenders and players in the game, they're not going to fight near as much. The game is not going to be as fun at a competitive level. You're literally infusing casual play into the competitive level of Imperiums and ACs. Like, okay, that doesn't make any sense. People aren't going to spend as much in the game. They don't need the speed ups. They don't need they don't need the speed ups. They don't need the troops. Like, people are going to walk away from this game if you tell them they can't play. Like, this might be the thing that kills this game. Like, I have been the huge proponent, and I have been a huge advocate for Rise of Kingdoms. Every time people like, oh my God, the Imperiums are gonna die. What do we do? The Imperiums are fine. You're not gonna do anything. Every time an Imperium has died, a big Imperium. I was in the days of 254, 556, 846, 307, 306. I mean, some of these massive kingdoms, 1034. I mean, all that. Back in the day, this is like years ago. Death Squads, like all these players and all these massive kingdoms years ago. Every time one would die and fall off, everybody panicked. Like, oh, the age of Imperiums is over. 2377 says, hey, we're going to downside. Oh my God, another Imperium. What are we going to do? 960 decides they're going to retire. It's like, oh, what are we going to do? Listen, the game, I have been the biggest advocate that the game is going to continue on. You're going to get other kingdoms. I'm in 2359. We're a silver imp now. We're probably going to push to gold imp. Like, you're going to replace Imperiums with other Imperiums. That's just the way it is. I have been an advocate that this game is not going to die because they're giving us new content all the time. They're giving us new commanders. They're giving us different stories to fight. We're literally got a chance to go fight in the story of Troy. I mean, how awesome is that? They're giving us commanders like Achilles and Hector and historic things like that. That's awesome. That's what keeps the game going. You go tell players they can't play, you're going to start to kill the game. It's that simple. You're going to start to kill the game. I feel less likely to spend. I don't need to. Less gold chests for everybody. Like leadership, not only just the leadership on the KVK scheduling and making sure players, you're going to force leadership to make sure players don't waste their war frenzy. What the hell are we doing? Now all of a sudden oh, by the way, migration team, when you're recruiting, you literally have to make activity, uptime. You've got to understand when the accounts that you're wanting to bring into the kingdom are in uptime. Are they going to maximize the 16 hours on the account? How is that going to work? And all of this, guys, I mean, all of this is more stress on leadership. Tons more stress. Like, leadership is going to be like, the hell with it. I ain't doing this anymore. Now I got to manage war frenzies of all of our big players and rallies and fighters and really everybody in the kingdom. I mean, this is not, if you want to fix piloting, this ain't the way to do it, y'all. If you really, really want to fix it, you really want to fix piloting, then fix it. Then make it one device. Make it two devices. Got to come from the same area. Don't let people, if you want to fix piloting, here's the easy answer. You want to fix piloting, don't let people pilot. That's simple. This isn't hard, because this is not fixing piloting. I guarantee you that's not fixing piloting. You're going to have pilots on nonstop. You're going to have pilots on maximizing that 16 hours for every account. And guess what happens with a pilot? They go online, they're on a line with a big account, and they're going to max out the 16 hours of War Frenzy. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to go to another account because somebody else has hired them. Like, the piloting situation is so systemic and it is baked into this. It's in the DNA of this game. Okay. And so from that standpoint, piloting farms, keeping accounts going 24 hours a day, piloting, you got kingdoms hiring war leads to come in and war lead when they don't even play in the kingdom. That kind of stuff that at the competitive level that's been going on for years. Okay, you want to fix all that. You want to fix piloting, then fix piloting. Don't ask us how to fix piloting. You're the developers. You're the creators. If you really want to fix piloting, then just fix the piloting. Don't let people log in unless they're from a certain IP address or a certain device. That's simple. Stop this dance. Stop this nonsense. Stop this pirouette we're doing across the stage trying to say, hey, we're trying to figure out ways to fix piloting. We're trying to make the game more fair. If you want to fix piloting, then just fix the piloting. You don't need any other solutions on how to do it. Just fix it. Don't let people pilot. It's that simple. This isn't hard. It's not rocket science. Anyways, sorry for my rant. Just wanted to give some of the aspects of how this thing works, okay? Because this is nonsense. And these are my thoughts. I pray this game doesn't die, but I'm just telling you, a lot of high spenders are walking away. A bunch of spenders aren't going to spend at the level that they spend at. And a bunch of players who love to play this game at a competitive level are going to walk away. I'm just telling you, that's what's going to happen. So if you enjoyed this video, throw a thumbs up on it, like it. If you have not subscribed, consider doing so. Much love to everybody. Appreciate everybody. And until next time, you guys have a great day, broskies.